Laying out and determining the point. Customers are required to purchase a level and positioning line by themselves. Do the preparation work on the ground. Paste the waterproof rubber pad on the top of the main column. Install the sink plug, and then stand up the column. Between the sink plug and the supporting plate on the main column, fix it with bolts and nuts, but pay attention, do not tighten the half-press plate used to fix the arch later. Main column installation. Install the gutter. One gutter is 4 meters long, and install it on the supporting plate of the main column with bolts and nuts, and do not tighten the bolts and nuts as a half-press plate used to fix the arch later. Install the beam. Place the L pieces on the main column back to back. Insert the beam between the two L pieces and fix it with bolts and nuts. Assembling the arch. A group of arches is divided into several sections. 2 sections in the video. The arches are assembled and fixed with self-tapping screws. Place a card slot for fixing the film. Assemble the beam W frame. The beam W frame needs to be installed only at the arch bar connected to the main column. Fix it with a single head clamp, a single head hoop, and bolts and nuts. After determining the position, use self-tapping screws to fix the clamp and the position of the hoop is fixed. When setting out, the fixed position needs to be measured clearly, and the customer can install it directly according to the measured position to avoid instability and misalignment. Install the arch rod. Insert the assembled arch rod into the half-press plate next to the gutter. Tighten the bolts on the arch and the gutter and the crossbeam of the arch hanger, and fix it with self-tapping screws. Tighten the beam to lift it up, otherwise it won't work. Installation of diagonal braces. Installed on the main columns and beams, fixed with self-tapping screws. First install the middle diagonal brace for positioning, and then install the diagonal brace at the same position of the remaining main columns. Assemble the spine. Fix the connection between the spine and the spine with self-tapping screws. The greenhouse has 3 spines. Fixing the spine. When fixing the spine, it is necessary to observe whether the arch is tilted from the side of the greenhouse. The connection between the spine and the end arch is fixed with a cross clip and self-tapping screws. The connection between the spine and the end arch needs to be polished to avoid sharp thorns that will scratch the film during the subsequent film installation. The spine and the middle of the arch is fixed with a top spring or cross clip. The cross clip or the top spring depends on the size of the arch and the spine. X-frame. The upper end is fixed on the single head hoop, and the lower end is fixed on the main column with a turnbuckle and a single head hoop. Secondary column fixed on the sink with L pieces, fixed with bolts and nuts. Installation on the top inclined flat. Pulley. First install on the middle main column, that is, the transmission column. First install the side pulleys on both sides, and then install the middle hanging pulley. Side pulleys are installed on the main column with self-tapping screws. Transmission shaft installation. The transmission shaft is installed on the transmission column and beam. First install the two sides, and then install the middle. Install plastic steel wires. Place a plastic steel wire every 50 cm. Install two plastic steel wires at the columns on both sides for each plastic steel wire at the beam. Install two plastic steel wires every third. Push net poles. Install with the oblique angle facing upwards. Fix each push net pole with folding parts. Push net poles are placed in the middle of the plastic steel wire, and the back is fixed with the push-pull rod fixing card and the push-pull rod. Shading card slot. Paste the light shielding adhesive strip on the card slot, and then use self-tapping screws to fix it on the front and rear columns, diagonal braces, and beams of each open shoulder. Foam glue fit to achieve light-proof effect. The card slot at the back of the shoulder is to fix the curtain. There is also a card slot behind each push net rod to fix the curtain. Double foam glue is pasted on the front of each push net rod. When the shady system is activated, the double foam glue fits perfectly with the card slot in front of the shoulder opening, achieving 100% light-proof effect. Assembly of front and rear push-pull rods. Assemble the push-pull rod with the rack and fix it with bolts and nuts. A rack is connected between the two round tubes embedded in the installed pulley, and both ends are fixed on the front and rear end columns. Note: when installing the rack and pinion, the number of teeth on each end of the rack should be the same, and 6 feet should be left on the top and 6 feet below, otherwise the net will not be pushed smoothly. Assembly of the middle push-pull rod. The middle push-pull rod is fixed with the push-pull rod fixing card and the push-pull rod. Then use the push-pull rod fixing card to fix the push-pull rod on the push-pull rod. Install the shading curtain. Fix it in the pre-made card slot with a spring. One side of the curtain is fixed at the slot behind the push-pull rod, and the other side is fixed at the slot behind each shoulder. Install the motor base. After installing the motor on the motor base on the ground, install the motor base on the beam and fix it with U-shaped bolts. Fan crossbar L-piece, fixed by bolts and nuts. Fan weight curtain. Door. The surrounding area will be fixed by a circlip. The size of the door will be measured in advance, and the excess film will be cut. Note: the length of the film is reserved, and the problem of light protection will be dealt with at that time. Insect net. Top transparent film. Use scotch tape or other things to wrap the spine at the joint of the card slot to avoid cutting the film when pulling the film. When pulling the film, the literal face to the ground inside. Use the film rope to fasten the film close by side up. Foot mask, black and white. And face, black and white film. For corner ceiling, black and white film. Transparent film on both sides. Manual roll film on both sides. 100% sunshade is installed behind the wet curtain. The ventilation effect is good and the appearance is beautiful. Electric control box. Connect all electrical equipment in the greenhouse to the control box, and all wires will be laid out in advance and inserted into PVC pipes.